Good afternoon. Camping with Coleman, big game, -5 degree sleeping bag, and Coleman Hooligan 3-person tent. It's supposed to be waterproof, but this is what I woke up to. Water running into the tent, running down the front of the tent. I'm not very impressed with the Coleman Hooligan tent, although I did stay fairly dry. It's also leaking here too, and not very impressed with this at all. My sleeping bag got wet, but I don't have much to say about the tent, but the sleeping bag was amazing. That's how wet the sleeping bag got from the tent leaking onto me, and I stayed toasty warm all night. It wasn't until I got up and it was light enough to realize that the tent was leaking on me all night. But I wouldn't buy this tent ever again. I do like the design. I like the way it's set up. I like how you can come in out of the rain and your entrance isn't supposed to get wet. You've got the entranceway there. Like unlike other tents, you got just without the entryway, you would just open this up and let rain right into your tent when you're getting in and out. But this tent, it has the entryway. I love the design. I like the idea. The only thing I'm not liking is that first time setting it up and using it, it obviously leaks. On the very top, runs right in the screen, and onto the floor, and it ran down the floor and all over the sleeping bag. It was also leaking here, which I didn't notice until morning too. It was leaking in a spot on the bag. I guess my warmth was keeping from getting too wet. I was toasty warm in this, even though the sleeping bag is soaked on the outside. I was dry. I actually woke up and it was mid-30s, and I was actually sweating. I had to unzipper it for a little bit so I could actually cool off a minute, and then I just zippered it back up and went back to bed. But the sleeping bag, Coleman Big Game, -5 degree sleeping bag is amazing. Even with it getting soaked from the rain coming in the tent, I was warm. I'm just amazed at how warm I stayed with this tent getting as wet as it did. Awesome design, amazing idea, just not happy with getting wet, or getting wet. I got out of my bag and I didn't realize the floor was wet, and I rolled over into the puddle that was next to me, and far from impressed with that. But design is wonderful, just it shouldn't leak. I'm sure this is a maybe an issue that doesn't happen very often, but not good. Not good, especially camping in cold weather that's in the 30s. Again, hopefully they will fix this. I'm sure they will. But I imagine I stayed dry most of the night until we had some heavier rain and wind, which this thing says it's made for up to 35 miles an hour wind and rain tested, and we didn't really have anything near that. We might have had 10 mile an hour winds with rain, but we had nothing near that would have should have caused this to leak right out of the box. But I'm sure they'll make this right. And I mostly wanted to do this to say how well I'm impressed with their sleeping bag. Sleeping bag obviously amazing. Tent not impressed, but hoping they'll do something for me. Thanks for watching. If you have any suggestion, maybe this can be waterproofed and still used, I'd like to hear what your suggestions are. I thought for sure it was waterproof right out of the box, but maybe I'm wrong. And any help would be appreciated. I would buy the tent again if I knew it wasn't going to leak. But oh well, it was definitely a good night out. It's pretty roomy. We could probably sleep two of us in here. I don't know if I'd sleep three. Two would probably be tight. Two would definitely be cozy. But thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment any suggestions you have on this setup. I'd appreciate it. Thanks.